India's largest automaker, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, had one of the most stellar quarters in July-September in the form of sales and profit. We have with us the chairman of the company, Mr. R.C. Bhargav, to talk to us about the quarter and what is lined up for the future in terms of product and sales going ahead. Sir, if I could begin the first question with how the quarter was for you. What are the sort of the headwinds that you're facing? You've had one of the best, the most stellar quarters ever in terms of net profit. If you could tell us a little about what sort of headwinds are you still facing?
See, our biggest problem at the moment is that we have a large customer waiting list and not enough production capacity. But other than that, I think general conditions of working are quite good. And the government systems now don't interfere with our working. We go along pretty smoothly. And that's the reason why we could ramp up our production and get to about 4.18 lakh cars in this quarter. It's well beyond our capacity. And it just shows that all the people and everybody involved is working in a very positive manner.
So while you have been able to ramp up capacity in your existing units, there's a line up till where this can go. And you've spoken a few times about advancing the production at the Gujarat plant. How do things stand vis-a-vis the Gujarat plant and the commencement date there?
The Gujarat line A is almost ready to start production, and they will start trial production all pretty soon. And commercial production will be available to us for sale in February.
You're going to be starting with how many lakh units?
That first line A has a capacity of 250,000 cars a year. But you don't get that full capacity straight away because you start with one shift. And once you have that one shift stabilized, then you add more workers for the second shift. So it takes close on a year to get up to the full rated level of production of 250.
Of 250, you're saying it'll take a year to get to that level?
Rate of production. You won't get 250 in the first year because you have started with one shift only, which means 125. And that will continue for the first 6, 7, 8 months before you start adding the second shift.
But going by how sales have been, what sort of a capacity utilization are you at right now? And because this is going to be a hindrance, from 1.5 million units, if it can go only up to 1.75 in the next year, won't it be a hindrance in terms of supply and demand?
Yeah, there is a problem of capacity. That's why we have a waiting list. The Gurgaon Manesar plants put together this year will produce over 1.6 million cars. Their capacity is actually less than 1.5. So we are pushing these plants through various kinds of expedients on how to get more production out of them. This will continue even after Gujarat comes along. We will still not have surplus capacity as far as I can judge. And we will continue to push Gurgaon and Manesar to the maximum and ramp up Gujarat as fast as we can so that line A gets to its full rated capacity of about 20,000 a month as quickly as possible. At the same time, we've been impressing upon Suzuki the need for more production, and Suzuki has expressed the intention of starting the second line also, and we will get the schedule of that in a short period of time.
You will, sir. One more question, if I could slip in, about the Gujarat plant. What sort of margins are we looking from the Gujarat plant? There is an angle of margins being crunched when production starts at the Gujarat plant. What sort of an issue is that?
See, for the short term, when production starts, as I said, you will not be producing 20,000 cars a month. The overhead costs all remain unchanged. The depreciation cost, the administration costs, the marketing costs, they don't change. So per car, the cost is higher. So to that extent, if the cost of production becomes higher, the margins you get from sale become lower to that extent. But it will not have any major difference to our total margins, because while Gujarat will give us, say, 100,000 or 125,000 cars. Gurgaon, Manesar will give us 1.6 million cars. So how much difference will have the higher cost of overheads on 100 or 1,000 cars make to 1.6 million cars?
Another thing that's been a cause of concern is the royalty outgo. While you've said it over and over again that the share of the royalty outgo has been reducing to Suzuki, where does it stand right now, and how do you see royalty payments moving going ahead?
See, as I had mentioned earlier also, all new models which are now being introduced have royalty expressed in rupees. So there is no question of royalty fluctuating, it's now fixed in rupee terms. And as more and more products are developed by our own R&D engineers here, the percentage of royalty will fall. So going forward, if you're looking 5 years down the road, I think in the next 5 years we'll have a definite declining trend of royalty.
So one last question. You spoke about new products. So I have to slip in one last question about products. While Maruti has launched a lot of products over the past year and also within the current financial year, product launches have been booming. What sort of more product launches can we see from your side? We know the Ignis is going to hit the roads, and what else does Maruti have planned, say, over the next 12 to 18 months?
I can only say that in this highly competitive market, if any manufacturer does not constantly upgrade and bring in new models, he is not going to do well in that market. And our intention is to do well in this market. So we will be doing exactly what I said, upgrading existing models periodically, replacing old models, say, after every 6 years or so with a new model.
After every 6 years or so, you know.
That's right.
Which would mean that some of your models are due to get a replacement soon.
So if they're due, they should get replaced.
Right, so I think we'll keep it at that. Thank you so much for speaking to Bloomberg Quinn. It had been a pleasure, sir. Thank you.